Coming up, protesting in Paradise. Ahead tonight, why these hotel workers walked off the job today.
Police name a suspect in the murder of a tourist. Ahead, the alleged accomplice they say is still on the run.
And help for the homeless. ZNS Story brings a change of fortunes for a homeless family. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kishla Adderley.
And I'm Kendino Knowles, as always. Thanks for joining us.
Topping the news tonight, the firings of 2 employees of the Riu Resort on Paradise Island sparked protests at the property today.
The firings, along with other grievances, has also quickened demands for the formation of a union. Today, our Janine Noel Ferguson talked with staff about how far they're prepared to take their fight.
Bartender Sean Campbell and supervisor Monica Knowles were fired from the Riu Hotel last week after 8 years on the job. And today their former co-workers joined them in protest.
It's like victimization to me right now as it stands, because I don't know the reason why. And I asked the question why. I have not gotten a response from no one.
When I went downstairs in HR and I asked them what's the reason of me being terminated, they told me no reason. And when I asked the GM what was the reason, he didn't even open up his mouth and say nothing.
The small group of employees had expected more workers to support their cause. But after numerous calls and messages, the staff on the outside said the staff on the inside were reportedly being locked in. A few calls later, a group of employees dressed in uniform joined the protest. Campbell said that the employees are now calling for the property to become unionized.
The people tired writing on paper and sending the information to labor. The people tired, and as y'all can see, and it's time to take action now, because the situation was going on in this hotel against the general manager, towards the staff, is out of control.
A lot of things that goes on here, but the public and other persons is not aware of.
First Vice President of the Bahamas Hotel and Allied Workers Union, Godfrey Bryce, was on site for the process. He said while it was an observation exercise for the union, he hopes they will be able to get the required 50 plus 1% from employees so that they can start the process toward unionization.
When you see management really go and lock doors to stop the employees from coming outside to demonstrate or whatever they might do, because if they're tired, because of whatever situation is going on in that place, well, we are here to not only assist, but to guide them in the direction that they should go. One time ago, we had like Indians, 900 of them came when they were building the Cable Beach Hotel, and they sat down for something that they thought was unfair and unjust to them. And you know what, at the end of the day, they got exactly what they wanted. And we need more stuff like this. As a matter of fact, I think that every employee in this hotel right now, they should be out here. Everyone. I don't care which, but even the supervisors, they should be out here, because these are behemoths. The government talk about, all the time they talk about.
Bryce said that the union will be there to support the employees for as long as they need it. In the meantime, the employees say they will continue to walk off the job until their grievances are heard. Repeated calls were placed to management for comment, but we were told that they were unavailable. Janine Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Tonight, ZNS News is issuing an apology to the operators of the Hammerheads restaurant. Yesterday's news story on the murder of tourist Kyle Bruner suggested that the shooting took place at the Hammerheads restaurant, which it did not. We wish to correct that suggestion and apologize to the establishment for any embarrassment it may have caused them. Meantime, the U.S. Embassy issued a statement explaining that they appreciate that the Bahamian government is treating the shooting death of 38-year-old Bruner as a very serious case. Meantime, it was during a press conference at the Central Detective Unit today that officials named the men wanted in the recent shooting death of Bruner. Immediately after that press conference, police confirmed that one of the men, Antoine Bastian, was arrested. Our Cyan Thompson has the latest.
Police sent out the alerts for 2 more men believed to be involved in the shooting death of 34-year-old American visitor Kyle Bruner. The suspects are said to be teens who are reportedly known to police.
Leo Bethel. He's an 18-year-old, and the last known address is Balls Alley. The second person of interest is Anton Bastian, a.k.a. Lolly. He's a 19-year-old, and his last known address is Abraham Street, Camp Road.
Here's what Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson had to say about security patrol of the area where Bruner was shot.
15 or more officers in that area just prior to this, but as you can imagine that the police cannot stand one place at all at long time, so they have to move.
Meanwhile, our news team wanted to hear what Bahamians are saying on this recent shooting death.
Tourists get killed and say so, but crime is crime.
I believe that crime in the country is out of control. I believe that we need to get stricter measures in place for both locals and foreigners.
It should also be more brief up on the police patrol.
In terms of the feedback that we got, the majority of persons said that capital punishment in the country must be looked at.
I believe we should start hanging these people. They keep talking about hanging. Let's bring back capital punishment.
With hanging, I think we really need to come from under the Privy Council.
Persons with any information on recent deaths can contact police at 502-9991, 502-9992, or 328-TIPS. For the ZNS Network News, I'm Cyan Thompson.
The 2-story building where a 5-month-old baby girl died sits vacant today, a sad reminder of a Mother's Day tragedy. Our news team visited the home on Exuma Avenue today. The mother and grandmother of the baby were not at home at the time, but we did speak off camera with other family members, including the child's uncle who attempted a rescue. He told us the fire started in the back room of the 2-bedroom upstairs apartment shortly after the family returned home from church. He said it spread so quickly that there wasn't much anyone could do despite his best effort to save his niece who was asleep at the time. The uncle suspects that an electrical problem sparked the blaze. Fire officials are still investigating and have renewed their call for residents to properly equip their homes with smoke detectors. Defense attorney Jeffrey Farquharson today submitted to Tryphena Meadows, the mother of murdered 11-year-old Marco Archer, that she deliberately misled police about being the last person to see Marco Archer alive. In this report, Charisma Robinson tells us what larger point he was seeking to drive home as the tearful mother underwent another round of cross-examinations.
Defense attorney Jeffrey Farquharson suggested that Tryphena Meadows, the mother of 11-year-old Marco Archer, deliberately hid certain facts from police to throw off the investigations. In her earlier testimony, Meadows admitted that she did not tell police that her son was at her daughter's residence on Claridge Road on the afternoon he went missing. In fact, he said Meadows gave conflicting times that she saw Marco. She told one daughter that her son came home after 4 that day, but told police she last saw him around 3 p.m. Farquharson suggested that Meadows misled police to protect herself and family, and on the basis of her conflicting times, he submitted that it would be altogether possible that the last place Marco was seen was at Claridge Road. Now, Meadows rejected the attorney's assertions, repeating that she loved her son and that she was the last person to see him. An emotional Meadows said she may have been off on the times, but was being truthful with the investigations. The witness was also asked to explain why it took her more than an hour to realize that something was wrong when Marco did not return home after he left to buy candy. Meadows said it was raining heavily that day, and she thought Marco was waiting for the rain to stop before he came home. After pressing the witness a bit more, Farquharson suggested that Meadows was a horrible mother based on the testimony she gave about Marco putting back on his school pants when he had soiled his underwear. However, Meadows told the court that if feces was on Marco's school pants, she would not allow him to wear it again. Marco's mother also told the court that the following morning after he disappeared, family members went to the homes of a number of people who they believed were capable of molesting children. However, when asked if she gave police the names of those people, Meadows said no. The trial continues. Charisma Robinson, ZNS Network News.
In our first look at weather, a weak frontal system heading this way could provide some late night and early morning showers, but outside of our studios at the moment, we have partly cloudy skies, temperature 82 degrees, relative humidity at 49%, winds out of the south at 4 knots, your barometric pressure 1,017.4 millibars, that's 30.04 inches, and it is falling. But stay tuned, temperatures around the Family Islands, travel and boating forecast is still to come.
Still to come in the Bahamas tonight, a former nurse is elevated to one of the top posts in the country's public health system.
And Night League softball fires the first pitch. Highlights coming up. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Lux Men's Warehouse.